Ghosts of Stone and Sea, Haunted Legends of the Dalhousie Castle, Almourol Castle and Great Isaac Lighthouse. Hello, everyone. I am Gho-Paranorma. Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, then welcome. I make videos about ghosts, spooky encounters, and everything paranormal and unexplained. For today's video, I wanted to try something fun, so I looked up a random country name generator and picked up 3 stories to share from 3 countries. Well, technically speaking, I had already wanted to share a story from Scotland, but I picked up 5 other country names. But in this video, I have included 3 stories, 1 from Scotland, 1 from the Bahamas and 1 from Portugal. I wanted to do a video where we get to hear stories from different parts of the world, and we will start with these 3 today. So, here are the spooky stories from around the world. First story. The Hauntings of Dalhousie Castle from Scotland. This castle dates back to the 13th century, maybe even older, and is situated close to Bonnyrigg in Midlothian, Scotland. Not surprisingly, it has witnessed a great deal of history. Uniquely, it has been in the same family's possession for nearly 800 years, which is rare for a Scottish castle. A structure of this age certainly has many tales to share, including some that are quite spooky. So, here is a short history of the castle. In the website, Little House of Horrors, they said this about the castle. Dalhousie Castle was first constructed in 1140 and has been the seat of the Earls of Dalhousie, the chieftains of Clan Ramsay. The oldest, still standing part was constructed in the 13th century, which includes the vaults. Most of the castle's construction as we know it today was done in the 15th century, including the Drum Tower. Dalhousie Castle used to be accessible by drawbridge over a moat only, but since the castle was turned into a hotel, the moat disappeared. Parts of it can still be seen. Like you imagined, there have been sightings of ghosts in the castle, particularly Lady Catherine, who was the 16-year-old mistress of one of the Ramsay landowners, and she is commonly known as the Grey Lady. The poor young girl was imprisoned after the Ramsay laird's wife found out about the affair. She made sure that Catherine was trapped and starved her to death. It is said that Lady Catherine now haunts the towers, the stairs, the main corridor and the dungeons in the castle as the Grey Lady. She is a very active ghost who likes to make her presence known. Apparently, she is the reason the ghost tours are regular now at the castle. Many guests have claimed to have heard the rustling of Catherine's dress, knocking on doors and tapping on the shoulders of the guests. Many guests have often seen the castle ghost sitting at the end of a bed while passing through the halls. Not only that, she also seems to hate bagpipe music. When she's near, bagpipes tend to play out of tune. It makes me sad to think how scary everything must have been for Lady Catherine. She was only 16, basically a teenager when she was killed. Guests sometimes have mistaken her for the staff because of her grey dress with puffed sleeves and sharp features. This reminds me of Haunting of Hill House and the renovation scene where we find out that the clock repairman in one of the scenes is a ghost. The Grey Lady was also believed to have graced many weddings in her usual attire. She was captured in a picture from a wedding in 2004 and has been seen stalking the corridors and turrets by the castle bagpiper Andrew Sharp. Many have claimed that the Dalhousie Castle ghosts mind their own business and are harmless. However, guests who were not even a part of ghost tours have also encountered bizarre activities, including unexplained noises, movement of objects, and footsteps in the night that has left them mystified. Another spirit, that of Sir Alexander Ramsay, has also been seen wandering the castle grounds. His remains were found 1.5 centuries later when people were cleaning out the Hermitage Castle. He was finally given a proper funeral then, but his ghost prefers hanging out at his old home. Guests have also been complaining about a ghost that's pulling their hair. The ghosts are perceived to be friendly by staff and guests, and few were positively chilled when the Grey Lady waved at them from a window or having heard sudden unprecedented noises. A castle as old as the Dalhousie is naturally immersed in these hauntings, hauntings of tragedy and spirits who want to be remembered in some way or the other. If you travel to Scotland, do give this historic place a visit. Story 2. The Phantom of Almourol Castle. In the heart of Portugal, rising from the misty waters of the Tagus River, stands one of the country's most enchanting and haunted castles, Castello de Almourol, or known simply as the Castle of Almourol. This medieval fortress, perched alone on a river island, was built in the 12th century by the Knights Templar as a defensive outpost during the Portuguese Reconquista. But long before that, the rocky islet had served as a stronghold, first for the Lusitanian Castro, which was conquered by the Romans in 1st century, then for invading forces like the Visigoths, Alans, and Berbers. But history here isn't just found in stones, it's heard in whispers, cries, and ghostly footsteps. They say Almourol Castle is haunted by the ghost of a princess, daughter of the 9th century Emir Almouralin. Forbidden to love a Christian Knight Templar, she defied her father and showed her lover a secret passage into the castle. That knight betrayed her. He used that passage to lead an invasion. Shamed and heartbroken, the Emir and his daughter embraced and jumped from the highest tower into the river below. Now, on moonlit nights, locals swear they see the phantom of the princess wandering the corridors, her face forever mournful, and the lifeless body of her father vanishing into mist as people approach to help. The castle is located next to the Tagus River, and fishermen have seen strange moving orbs of light hovering around the castle. Visitors also often recount hearing whispers, footsteps, and feeling a mysterious sadness when exploring the castle, especially near the waterfront. Late at night, locals also say they hear battle cries, screaming and yelling near the castle, but when they approach the castle, there is no one around and the strange noises will stop. But hers is not the only spirit said to walk these grounds. Another tale speaks of Dom Ramiro, a ruthless Visigoth warrior who ruled with cruelty. He murdered a Moorish woman and her daughter over a cup of water. Unbeknownst to him, the young page who served him was the murdered woman's son. In a slow, quiet revenge, the boy poisoned Ramiro's wife until she passed away. While Ramiro was away at war, his daughter Beatriz fell in love with the boy. Her father returned and promised her to a noble knight. Dom was furious when he learned about this love tryst. The father forbid their marriage. He was secretly planning to murder this page. He would rather see his daughter marry a knight. Beatriz didn't want to marry the knight. She and her lover fled after the Moor revealed of her father's cruel nature and the truth about her mother's death. Legend says Ramiro died of remorse, and now, people see a sorrowful vision of the old warrior on his knees, begging his daughter and her lover for forgiveness during some full moon nights, a moment playing on loop, forever etched into the castle stone. Some call these hauntings residual energy, echoes of love, betrayal, and bloodshed. Others say it's something more the castle remembers. If you ever visit Almourol, listen carefully. You may hear the clash of swords, or a whisper calling out from the past. Third story, the ghosts of Great Isaac Lighthouse. Now, we leave Portugal and sail across the Atlantic to the edge of the Bermuda Triangle, where a lonely lighthouse rises from the sea. Welcome to Great Isaac Key, home to one of the most haunted lighthouses in the Caribbean. First lit in 1859, the Great Isaac Lighthouse was meant to save ships. But it became a witness to shipwrecks, tragedies, and vanishings. One of the earliest tales is of a supply ship that crashed while delivering materials to build the lighthouse. All aboard survived, except one young boy who was pulled under by sharks. Some say his ghost still wanders the quay at night, his outline flickering against the moonlit waves. But the most famous ghost here is known only as the Grey Lady. Her legend began in the late 1800s, when a ship wrecked off the coast of Great Isaac. All were believed to be perished, except for a 6-week-old baby who miraculously washed ashore, unharmed. His mother drowned like the others. But she never left. Stories of the shipwreck of the Elijah Swift in 1849, told by one of its survivors, say that this accident was what inspired the stories of the Grey Lady, and Mrs. N.A. Bailey could have been the same woman whose spirit still searches for her child, but we will not know for sure. Since then, visitors claim to hear a woman crying out during full moons, wandering the ruins searching for her lost son. Some swear they've seen her pale figure drifting through the mist. But perhaps the darkest mystery is what happened in 1969. Two lighthouse keepers, Ivan Major and B. Mollinks, vanished without a trace. Their radios silent. their belongings untouched. When authorities arrived, there were no signs of a struggle. No evidence. Just emptiness. Speculations ran wild: storms, kidnappings, even drug smugglers. But nothing ever explained what truly happened. Since then, the lighthouse has been completely abandoned and automated. Now, it stands as a crumbling monument to lost lives and unexplained phenomena. From strange lights to ghostly cries. The quay is said to be cursed, surrounded by water that whispers secrets to those who dare anchor nearby. Some believe the spirits of the lost, like the Grey Lady and the vanished keepers, still linger. If you ever sail near Great Isaac, keep your eyes on the horizon and your ears open. Because some stories refuse to sink. From a medieval island fortress in Portugal to a haunted beacon in the Atlantic and an ancient castle of Scotland, these places are more than just stone and sea. They are keepers of memory, of sorrow, of legends that echo through time. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, some locations simply feel haunted. Have you ever visited a haunted site? Tell us your story in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more haunted history from around the world.